This is my Ring of Honor New Japan Pro Wrestling Presents Global Wars 2014 Internet Pay-Per-View review. The pay-per-view just went off the air a little while ago. This was streamed on Ustream, and obviously the one thing that people were wondering the most going into this show was how was the stream going to run? How was Ring of Honor going to do in their next venture and their newest venture into the Internet Pay-Per-View market? Because obviously, if anyone knows Ring of Honor's previous record within doing internet pay-per-views, it was pretty atrocious and disastrous. Thankfully, I got to say, at least on my end tonight, this show ran perfect. There was no problems with the stream, no audio problems. Everything came off like it should have. So hopefully, next week when Ring of Honor does World of Worlds, it works just as well. And the other thing is that I'm wondering is, when Ring of Honor does any other internet pay-per-views outside of these two this month, because obviously these are the joint inter-promotional shows with New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm wondering that, is this Ring of Honor finally getting their game together with the internet pay-per-view, with the internet pay-per-views, or is this because of their partnership with New Japan? And obviously everyone knows that New Japan Pro Wrestling does their pay-per-views, iPay-per-views on Ustream, and they've had no problem at all, and they've had a great track record. So I'm hoping that Ring of Honor's got everything worked out for the future past these two shows, because I would love to see, maybe not every single one of their shows as an iPay-per-view, but at least most of their big shows. I mean, obviously in June we got them returning to traditional pay-per-view with Best in the World, which apparently, I guess the one thing that was said is if these two internet pay-per-views work perfect, which it did tonight, then next week we've got War of the Worlds, that not only is Best in the World going to be available via traditional pay-per-view, via cable or satellite providers, but it possibly might be available for people all over the world via internet pay-per-view, because if you don't live in the U.S., that could be an outlet for you to see Best in the World in June. Or if you don't have cable or satellite, that's another thing that could work out well as well. So hopefully that does good. But as far as this show, going into it, a lot of people were, hesitant with the show, with the card. A lot of people were bitching and griping about the card going in this show. Not necessarily this show for the most part. Most people were bitching about some of the booking decisions that they got for next week with World of the Worlds, because a lot of people were expecting, the New Japan Ring of Honor Super Card, where you would have top to bottom a dream card, which anyone that knows how New Japan, does inter-promotional shows, joint promotional shows, whatever you want to call them, should know that you're never going to get the dream card. I mean, the only time you get the dream card possibly is, if you actually had the number one, which is WWE, and the number two, New Japan, and even in that case, you would still have, political issues as well, where you would never get what you actually would want. And these, inter-promotional shows, joint promotional shows with Ring of Honor are pretty much viewed by New Japan as B shows, but even as B shows, they can still be good shows, which tonight was a damn good show. You saw, probably in my opinion, Adam Cole's best title defense as Ring of Honor champion with Kevin Steen in the main event. Loved the AJ Styles and Karl Anderson teaming up, the Bullet Club versus Okada and Gedo. That was a great tag team match. And then at the first part of the show, you saw an awesome juniors tag team title match, the IWGP Junior Tag Titles with the Hooligans, Time Splitters, and the Young Bucks, which that was great. And then even the undercard was good. You saw nothing really bad on the show. From top to bottom, this was a good show, and I would recommend people go out their way to see it. But let me get into the show. The opening matchup was Michael Bennett versus ACH. Most of these first couple matches were obviously used to showcase stars that they're going to be in bigger matches against New Japan talent next week. So it was kind of like showcase matches for the first half of the show somewhat, but he still had some good stuff. Michael Bennett and ACH was a good, solid match. Nothing too special, but not a bad match. Bennett picks up the win like he obviously should have. They did a spot in here with Michael Bennett. He tried to hit the spear on ACH on the apron. He accidentally spears Maria Kanellis, so she's out the whole match. Then ACH does his stuff. You see some crazy, dives and high spots from him, and Bennett ends up winning the match, pulling out a new finisher of his, and about 2 and 3/4 star match. It was a solid opener. Then the next matchup was one of the matches with Ring of Honor talent versus New Japan talent. This was Michael Elgin versus Watanabe, and this was, not a great match, but it was what it was. It showcased Michael Elgin very well for, obviously, next week. He's going to be taking on AJ Styles from the IWGP Heavyweight title. So this was what this match was. Showcase Michael Elgin, make him look very strong going into that match, and that's what it was. This wasn't a long match, but it was a decent match. About 2 3/4 stars. Michael Elgin wins after hitting the power bomb to Watanabe in this match. 2 3/4 stars. Then the next matchup was the Decade versus reDRagon versus the Briscoes, 3-way tag team match. This was really entertaining. This probably, in my opinion, would have been a good thing to have as the opener of your show. Because the Bennett and ACH match was a good, solid match, but it didn't feel like the match that was the match to get the crowd in the show. I think this triple threat would have worked better as the opener, but still, this was good stuff. I'm a huge fan of reDRagon, of Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish, the Briscoes as well, and the Decade I've always liked whenever BJ Whitmer and Jimmy Jacobs team up. This was a really good match. You saw some good back-and-forth action, and the Briscoes won this match after hitting the Doomsday Device to Jimmy Jacobs. So the Briscoes won this match. Obviously, that was to be expected, considering next week the Briscoes are going to be taking on the Bullet Club for the IWGP tag team titles. Briscoes looked very strong in this match, which was the purpose of this match. 3 1/4 stars, really entertaining match. And the next matchup was Roderick Strong versus Cedric Alexander. These two have been feuding for a little bit, and they had a damn good match at Supercard of Honor. This was another good match from them. Obviously, we're going to be seeing this feud continue. Cedric Alexander did shockingly pick up the win here. Really good match, stiff stuff from both of them, back and forth action, great stuff. The only thing with it, it was kind of a weak finish, which was, Cedric Alexander kind of got the upset victory, which I had no problem with them booking it that way, but just the upset victory kind of came off weak. He won with a roll-up, and that's how he shockingly defeated Roderick Strong here. But still a damn good match, 3 1/2 stars. Not as good as their Supercard of Honor match. I thought their Supercard of Honor match was just a little bit better, but this is still a damn good match. And then post-match, you have the Decade come out there. They beat up Cedric Alexander. So obviously this Roderick Strong and Cedric Alexander feud will be continuing, probably leading to a fight without honor. That's what it does seem like it's going to be leading to. Don't know if they'll do it at Best in the World, or they might hold it off maybe for a little while longer. Maybe try to stretch this feud all the way out to Glory by Honor, or even maybe Final Battle. It depends how quick they want to pull doing the fight without honor. That would be a good thing to do for going back to traditional pay-per-view in June to do Cedric Alexander and Roderick Strong. That'd be a really good match to do at that pay-per-view. Then the next matchup was the IWGP Junior Tag Team Title Match, the triple threat with Forever Hooligans versus Time Splitters versus the Young Bucks. Alex Shelley got a big welcome back chant from the crowd. Great to see Alex Shelley back in a Ring of Honor ring. And this just was a crazy match, just as to be expected with a Juniors tag title match. Great stuff from the Young Bucks, the Time Splitters. Alex Shelley and Kushida did some great stuff in here. The Forever Hooligans as well. This was just an awesome match. This is one of the matches on here that you definitely need to go out your way to see. It's just so many things happening. I can't tell all of it, but it was a damn entertaining match. Loved it. And Nick and Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks, they retained the IWGP titles after Matt Jackson pins Rocky Romero after the Young Bucks hit more bang for your buck. 4-star match. This was the end of the first half of the show. After this, they went to intermission, which they did a real good thing during intermission. Was they were showing basically build-up packages of Adam Cole and Kevin Steen, what Kevin Steen's been doing over the last year and everything leading to their match tonight, and really good video packages. And it was good that the intermission, they used it to showcase all those video packages. And the other thing was the intermission wasn't that long, which is one thing with, especially if you watch any of Gabe's shows, sometimes intermission on some shows can drag on for a long time. Thankfully, intermission was very, very quick. And then after intermission was over, it came back with R.D. Evans coming out there. This was a great segment with R.D. Evans. I mean, if you do not love this new streak, I mean, I don't know what is wrong with you. This R.D. Evans, the new streak, is probably one of the best things going in Ring of Honor right now. I mean, it's great entertainment. It's comedy done right. And just great stuff right here. R.D. Evans, he continues the streak. The streak continues after he pins the announcer. So the new streak, which he calls the best streak, is still continuing. So that was a great entertaining segment, especially, you know, the crowd loves R.D. Evans, and great way to have, you know, the show come back for the second half, get the crowd into it, you know, do a fun, entertaining segment like that. And then after that, they did the tag team match with Jushin Thunder Liger and Hiroshi Tanahashi teaming up to take on Shinsuke Nakamura and Jado. And this was really good. Loved seeing Nakamura and Tanahashi against each other inside a Ring of Honor ring. That is a moment and something I've never thought I would have seen in Ring of Honor, and that was just great. That was obviously the highlight of this match. Jushin Thunder Liger, you know, obviously, you know, he's well past his prime, but he can still do certain things, and the way he's used in either tag team matches or six-man tags in New Japan, New Japan knows how to book him in a way where he's not really, you don't really showcase his weaknesses that much. And obviously the fans still, everyone loves Jushin Thunder Liger. I mean, he's obviously, other than Great Muta, one of the most recognizable faces when it comes to Japanese wrestling. And that was great, great to see him here as well. And Jado did some good stuff. Really entertaining, really entertaining match here. And Tanahashi and Liger pick up the win in this match after Tanahashi does the frog splash to Jado in this match. 3.5 stars. Really fun, entertaining tag match. And love, obviously, seeing Nakamura and Tanahashi inside a Ring of Honor ring battling against each other. That was a great sight to see. Then the next matchup was a match that was surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be. This was the ROH TV title match. This was Silas Young versus Matt Taven versus Tommaso Ciampa versus the champion Jay Lethal. And Jay Lethal recently turning heel at Supercard of Honor, I think, is probably one of the best things for his career because he was getting very, very stale as a babyface. I think him as a heel right now, the stuff they are doing with Truth Martini is probably the best stuff they can do with him. And you're actually kind of invested in the character again. And obviously, you know, you got the stuff with Matt Taven, Truth Martini, and that whole feud within this. And Tommaso Ciampa and Silas Young did some great stuff in here. Just a really fun, entertaining, you know, balls to the wall 4-way where everyone did everything, pulled out everything. It was a fun, entertaining match. And the ending made perfect sense. Was you thought you were going to see Matt Taven finally getting his hands on Truth Martini, but as soon as he was about to get his hands on Truth Martini, Jay Lethal hits the lethal injection on Matt Taven, pins him, and Jay Lethal is still the ROH TV champion. Good heelish way for him to win with, you know, Matt Taven being distracted with what he wanted to do with Truth Martini, and Jay Lethal just walking out there as champion that way. And I would say, you know, 3.5 star match, really entertaining TV title match, a little better than I thought it was going to be. Then the next matchup was probably, in my opinion, the match of the night. This was Kazuchika Okada and Gedo versus the Bullet Club of AJ Styles and Karl Anderson. This was a damn good match. I love the way it started with AJ Styles and Okada against each other. That was fucking awesome. And obviously everyone knows that recently AJ Styles won the IWGP heavyweight title from Okada on May 3rd, earlier this month. And then next week we're going to be on War of the Worlds. We're going to be getting AJ Styles versus Michael Elgin for the IWGP heavyweight title. Obviously the one thing people wanted to see was Elgin and Okada because that was a dream match. But still, AJ Styles and Elgin next week will be great. But let me get back into this tag team match. Great stuff to start it off, like I said, with AJ Styles and Okada. Karl Anderson did some great stuff in here. Gedo did as well. I mean, this was just a fun, entertaining tag match. Just an awesome tag match. When you think of tag team wrestling, this is what it is. This was a great tag match. Everyone needs to go out their way to see this match right here. One of the easily, in my opinion, the best match of the show. AJ Styles picks up the win after hitting the Styles Clash onto Gedo in this match, and a 4 and 1/4 star match. Love this tag match. Definitely the best match of the night, in my opinion. But then after this, you had the main event, which was the ROH World Title match with Kevin Steen versus Adam Cole. Like I said earlier, in my opinion, this is probably Adam Cole's best title defense in Ring of Honor against Kevin Steen. I mean, this was just an awesome match, and they did a great job of making you think and believe that Kevin Steen was going to walk out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, his home country, once again, just like he did 2 years prior to this as Ring of Honor champion. Adam Cole ended up just ended up winning this match. This was a hell of a match. You saw, Kevin Steen hit 4 power bombs onto the ring apron to Adam Cole. Kevin Steen pulled out the top rope brainbuster on Adam Cole, and then Adam Cole hit the hit the Florida Keys once, and then hit the Florida Keys. Kevin Steen kicked out of there, and just great back and forth action. A lot of near falls in this match. The crowd was heavily into this match, obviously, with Kevin Steen, being in his home country. He was heavily over, as you would expect. But Kevin Steen's over no matter where you are, which is probably one of the things people would be saying, since he's so over, that he probably should have won the title here. But I have no problem with Adam Cole retaining the championship here, because this was a damn good match, probably easily Adam Cole's best match as Ring of Honor champion. You had the interference in this match. Michael Bennett came in there, tried to interfere. Kevin Steen hit the package pile driver on him, and then it ended with Adam Cole hitting the super kick onto Kevin Steen and retaining the ROH title. So Adam Cole is still your champion, which is to be expected. I think what they're going to be doing is they'll probably build to Michael Elgin versus Adam Cole in June for Best in the World, and that's probably where I think Adam Cole is going to lose his title, is at Best in the World in June. I think Ring of Honor at least wants to have him as champion until then, which makes perfect sense. Have your title change when you return to traditional pay-per-view, and that be something people will remember for your first show, is a big title change on your first show going back to traditional pay-per-view. Overall, the match I'll give 4 stars. Damn good main event. As far as the overall show, I give it an 8.25 out of 10. This was a hell of a show from Ring of Honor, and a lot of people that were bitching about this card probably are eating crow right now, because this card right here, I like other people, I didn't think we were going to get an awesome show, but I thought we were still going to get a very good show. I wasn't down on the card as much as other people were, but even I got to say, some of the stuff on here was better than I was expecting it to be. But obviously obviously the matches everyone needs to go out the way to see is the IWGP Junior Tag Title match, the triple threat with the Bucks, Forever Hooligans, and Time Splitters. Obviously the Bullet Club versus Okada and Gedo, and the main event with Adam Cole and Kevin Steen. Just a hell of a show, and like I said, stream worked fun. Definitely recommend this show to everyone. And that's it for my Ring of Honor / New Japan Global Wars 2014 Internet Pay-Per-View review. All right, peace.